yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from Vancouver, Canada. So welcome. Today is Tuesday, May the 5th, 2020, and this is video number 51. It's been a week since I caught up with you, so I am coming back with some finished works that I've done throughout the week, and I've started some new projects. So I wanted to just take this opportunity to say thank you to the fiber friends who left comments in my last video about me jumping in the kitchen and doing all that yarn dyeing or hand dyeing experiments. I have answered most of the questions to the best of my knowledge, but as I am new to hand dyeing yarn, I'm going to have to come back and readdress how the yarn works up, how it's worn, the care instructions of it over a course of time, and I'd love to review some of those things with you later down the way. If you're new to this channel and are happening upon this for the very first time, hi, I'm Gary. I'm the host of Urban Yarn. I have set this channel up to record all of my yarn journey. That's with knit, crochet, and as you gathered from the introduction, a little bit of hand dyeing, which I'm brand new to. I hope that you stick around and watch the channel, and if you like what I present, please think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing. It'd be great to have you in my fiber friends. So yeah, let's get stuck into the finished objects first. A couple podcasts ago, I showcased this as a kind of like a little bit of a training drill that I was learning a new stitch, and I followed the tutorial from Fiber Spider. I'll link it down below, and it is the Garter stitch chevron pattern. It's a 1-row repeat that he has online on his YouTube channel that I followed, and it's just amazing. Like the way that he presents the tutorial, it's so clear. I absolutely understood it completely, and I bust through some of my scrap stash, and this is what I came up with. So it was a long length of chevron material, maybe about 3 feet, and I thought, what am I going to do with it? So I whip stitched the ends together and I made it into a tube, and now it is a cowl. So what I like about this cowl is it's not itchy at all. With all the yarn that I busted through, they were quite cushy, I would say maybe sport weight yarn, or maybe DK, I would say, like a 3-weight yarn. And I worked it up into this fabric, and what I liked about it was that it wasn't such a loose fitting cowl in the end. It became like a cowl that was quite a little bit more snug. And I like that because when you're wearing a jacket, or if you've got other outer garments that you're wearing with it, it's not getting all bunched up underneath to create 1980s shoulder pads, like those super shoulder pads that Dynasty characters used to wear. But it is more of a snug fit, so your garment that you put over the top is going to be unobstructed. So really enjoyed making that. I got to the point actually of getting chevroned out 2 weeks ago, because I have a blanket that I'm doing in a chevron stitch as well, and that's in a timeout right now. But I've been doing 1 row here or there of a color block, so it is slowly getting along in the progress, but I will showcase that when it's completed. The next thing that I'm going to showcase is from a pattern, and I've never made these before, but I was thrilled when I completed the first pair. So here they are. They're my very first mittens. I love them. Oh my god. I followed a free pattern, and it's called the Cozy Mittens by Katie Himmelberg, and I'm going to link this pattern down below in the description box as well. So they are so cushy and comfortable. there's only one thing that I didn't quite understand with the pattern, but I kind of fudged what I thought it was, and it worked out okay. But you can't really tell with all this halo anyway what's going on, but it's the attachment of the thumb. It uses live stitches from, I guess, when you look at bottom up, and you put a couple of stitches on like, I guess, like waist wool, and so they're live stitches, and then it says to add or pull up to other stitches, but I don't really know where to do that. So I kind of guessed, and it worked out okay, but because there's all this fuzz on the mittens, you don't really get to see where those extra stitches are. So it's kind of great in the fact that it's hiding some of my mistakes, maybe, I don't know. Excuse me. But they came out just soft and really squishy. So what I did was I held 2 yarns together for these mittens, and you may have guessed it is the Chevron latte cakes in this way here, colorway. It's called Grey Velvet, and it does feel velvety. And I held it together with a variegated yarn. It's a sock yarn in this brownish black into ivory. And I don't know how to pronounce the name of this yarn because it's a German-based company. And I purchased it in a discount bin from a fiber festival I went to back in October last year. So I'll just show you. That's the dark brown blacks to the ivory underneath, and you see it through the latte cake. I really enjoyed that a lot. So I'm doing my very second pair. I already started them, so this would be I guess a work in progress for the next podcast that I do. But I'm holding it with Lion Brands. It's a sock weight yarn. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Petty. I'm just gonna look. Yeah, Mani Petty. And it's a #1 superfine sock yarn, and it's called, the colorway is called Boot. And yeah, it's variegating from purples, greens, blues, and so far I've just done an inch of the cuff, but I can't stop working on it because it's a pattern that's new to me and I absolutely love it. So you might be seeing a few more mittens. And plus I did it as an experiment. I've got fluff from the latte cake floating around. It's an experiment that I was working up to see whether I would have enough time to hand them out as gifts for Christmas this year. And what I figured was, because it was kind of a slow process because I was just learning, I had done 1 mitten in two seatings. So maybe a seating was maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I'd say 4 hours per mitten. So a timely process for sure, especially if I need to do 12 sets or 12 pairs, because generally at Christmas there's around 10 to 12 people that attend Christmas Day. So I'm not sure whether I'll give everyone the same thing, but this definitely will be one of the items that I think will be handed out for Christmas this year. The next thing that I finished was to a pattern, and it uses some of my hand dyed yarn, and it is a long triangular scarf shawl, and it is probably around 5.5 feet long from tip to tip, and then where the point is in the middle, that's probably around 18 inches, so 1.5 feet. And that's the hand dyed yarn that I did a couple episodes back. I think in episode I don't know. I can't recall. Maybe 44? I don't know. Anyway, so I'll link it down below in the description box. But I use Knit Picks. Both of these yarns are from Knit Picks. And this is the Sport Stroll in the superwash and nylon. And this one here is the Hawthorn fingering weight, and I believe it's just superwash. It might have some nylon in it as well, but I did not hand dye this part. I hand dyed this one, this part here. And I'll just put it on for you so you can see how it drapes. It hasn't been blocked yet, so it may actually grow even more when the stitches relax with blocking. So it's super comfortable, no undergarments required. There's no itch to these two yarns at all. They are quite light, airy. You could drape this around you if it's even a summery day. That's totally fine because there's so many holes in here that it breathes quite nicely. And what I used was another free pattern I found online, and it's called Enjoy the Silence Shawl by Dada's Place. It has the copyright down here devoted to like a person, I guess. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It looks like it's a Slavic name. And I tried to follow the pattern, but then I realized that I was using the wrong stitch. I was only yarning over twice. No, I was yarning over twice with with each of the stitches, but they were requiring a yarn over 3 times on your hook. So I was doing shorter stitches. And this is the diagram of the shawl scarf, and it alternated through the colors. And what I had done was I followed that with my 2 yarns that I chose. So each tip of the yarn is a different color. It works through alternating throughout the design. I really enjoyed that. So what I did was I did it again, as you do when you find a pattern. Like, how can you not stop working on something that you enjoy? So this is another work in progress, and I'm using a yarn base that I dyed of scarfy yarn, and I'm using the 3 yarn overs in this one instead of the 2, and it's working up in this kind of fashion. It's very open. I really like that. Oh, and there's my little jade bear from Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. And so this was the yarn that I hand dyed. It was the scarfy yarn, and the colorway originally was silver cream, and I had put it in some orange, Aztec gold, and some purple blue. So very muted, but it gives that kind of rustic feel. It did compromise the integrity of the yarn. It kind of felted it a little bit, but I don't mind that. It doesn't feel itchy at all. It feels still quite nice against your skin, so you wouldn't need to wear any undergarment. So it would be a nice wear for sure. And I do like the fact that it is a muted color, and you can see the splotches going through where I hand dyed, and it's picked up the color. I really like that. So maybe in the next episode that one might be finished. Yeah, it's like take each day as it comes, so it may or may not reappear as a finished item in the next episode. The other thing that I finished was, I finished 2 hats. First hat is this beanie here. It is a ribbed beanie. So it actually alternates each row from 1 by 1 ribbing, so knit purl, and then the second row is a complete knit row. So you have 2 row repeat, and I believe it's a 5 decrease bind off, and it's in the Charisma, which is the Loops and Threads brand from Michaels, their house brand, and the colorway is called Nordic. So yeah, really, really nice hat, and I followed the pattern called Man Hat. It's free, and I will link that down into the description box below as well. The second hat that I completed was our own Ross hat from Smells Like Yarn. And I printed up his free patterns that he has called the Ross hat. And what he's done is he's written up the hat in 4 different weights, sorry. So it is in a 1 superfine, a 3 light, 4 medium, or 5 bulky. So I did the 5 bulky in the same Loops and Thread Charisma colorway called Nordic. So yeah, it did work out really, really soft, and that's the crown. It's like a swirling star. I really enjoyed that. Thank you, Ross. That's a great pattern. And I think that is about all I have to showcase. Yeah, that was my week. And I have some intentions with getting back into the kitchen and doing some more dyeing. What I'm going to try this round is use the cotton cream or cream cotton from Loops and Threads, and I'm going to over dye a base color, and I believe this base color is called Mustard, and see how that holds the color and see what effects I get with using a solid color like this. The other thing I'm going to try is I've got a whole bunch of these that I got from the Spin Right factory outlet. I guess it was called the truck sale back in October of last year, and it's called Peyton's Denim. It is a mix of cotton and wool, so I'm interested to see, using this colorway, what types of colors will go and adhere to this with my dyes. And it is a pastel-y color which has a little bit of the yarn base exposed, and it is in a different weave, different thread. So it's actually woven together in a kind of like a different stitch. It's not twisted, it's more woven. So I'm interested to see how the dye works with the woven thread or the strand rather than a twist. So that's about all that I have to share with you this week. But I really loved learning something new, and it was these mittens that were new for me this week. I will be sure to continue making these because I have some ideas on different yarns that I want to hold together to work these up. And when I get to the point where I'm really confident with what I'm doing with that one particular area with the thumb, I might even showcase it in a single yarn where it doesn't have any fuzz, so that I can see what's going on underneath the Karen latte, so to speak. It's hiding a lot, and I love it right now that it's doing its job. So yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you, congratulations. And if you're new, think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing. It'll be great to have you amongst my fiber friends. And for anyone who has been watching me for a while, thanks for joining in on this particular episode. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the next episode. Everyone stay safe and sane in the lockdown period of the COVID-19, and we will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.